This is a continuous improvement movement reserved for the few with the grit to prove it. Everybody.
Good morning, this is Maria, and I am here today with Calvin Williams, drinking some coffee together to bring you the news that was just released this morning by the Piceno Times. So, today we are talking about enhancing Lean Six Sigma with digital tools. Digital tools are accelerating the development of the operational excellence culture.
Hmm.
What do you think about that?
I'm all for it, 1,000%. As you could probably imagine, we've been at this with Improver for 8 years now. And when we started, I felt like we were a little bit ahead of the Lean Six Sigma community, continuous improvement community, because there is an aversion to adoption of software and technology in the Lean community. And let's just be honest about it, right? There are some who will say that there is no aversion, but I think there really is. So, but if you think about it in terms of, engineers or industrial engineers created Lean, and you would argue Six Sigma, and goes all the way back to time studies and all the rest, right? So when you think about some of the digital tools now supporting OpEx, really you're just applying a different type of engineering, which is software and technology engineering, to the excellence and improvement of operations, which only makes sense if you really look back at the impact that technology and the development of the various technologies has the impact it's made on our economy in the last 20 or 30 years. So it only makes sense that it can only benefit operational excellence as well.
Yes, and this technology, Calvin, is very needed because if you see a hand collection of data can go very slow,
Mm.
it's unreliable, and people just make mistakes. So this technology really accelerates or solves some of those problems.
Yeah, there are certain things that are inherently human, right? Uh, People don't remember things,
Mhm.
right?
What brings me to the whiteboards, because a lot of people like to use whiteboards with Lean. And
Mm.
don't get me wrong, I love whiteboards. I have several, but they have amnesia.
They do. Okay, going back to the world of technology, right? If you look at some of the most valuable companies in the world right now, right? Apple, Amazon, Meta, Google, and all the rest. What makes them so valuable is not just the functionality that they bring, although we love the functionality, we love the tools, we love the ease of use and those kind of things. But what really makes them so valuable is the data,
Mhm.
all the data that they collect. And the data is really the source of power. They say knowledge is power. If you can look at data as a form of knowledge and information, the power is in the data, right? And if you look at whiteboards, and most traditional OpEx programs are built on top of hordes and hordes of whiteboards. And you add the data today, and tomorrow you erase it. Erase that invaluable information,
Yes.
and then you go back and write up new information tomorrow, right? Where's that information going, right? If it doesn't live in people's heads, which we stated just a moment ago, humans' memory is
Yeah, we
inherently
forget.
unreliable.
Mhm.
Where's that data going? So what technology brings to us is essentially infinite memory, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And there's a ton of power in that. It's like the it's almost the difference in power that a going from only spoken word to written word.
Mhm.
When we went to written word, it was a game changer.
Yeah.
Going from manual to automated in Lean and Six Sigma, it's a similar level of impact and transformation that's available to take place.
Mhm. So let's talk about some of these emerging technologies that are accelerating the progress of Lean. We've been talking about data, so let's talk about big data analysis. So one of the best examples that I can think of when it comes to big data is the Netflix case study.
Mm.
If you know, the Netflix experience is different for everybody that opens up their profile because they use big data to analyze at what time you watch your shows, what type of shows you like, when do you hit pause, when do you resume, do you binge or do you take the whole month to watch your series? So it goes as deep as showing you a different trailer for every movie. Can you believe that? So that is
Interesting.
such a
Very
big
interesting. Well, it's
advancement.
looking at the type of trailers that I like
Yes.
and then showing me
Mhm.
parts of movies that they think I would like based on,
Mhm.
oh, wow.
So it's a different trailer,
Interesting.
different thumbnail, and this allows the company to
Mm.
retain 93% of their customers.
Mm.
That is a very low turnover or
That is
churn rate.
That's incredible. If the Lean Six Sigma programs that I've helped build for companies had a 93% retention rate, I would say we've done some really, really, really good work.
Okay.
But yeah, when it comes to like engagement, when it comes to that level of personalization, uh, big data analytics, that that level would not be possible without these technologies, right? And one of the biggest challenges you have with Lean and Six Sigma is sustainability, right? You may have a surge of energy and excitement to get it going, but then keeping it going, right? And that example with Netflix is a perfect, you know, perfect picture of how to keep a good thing going, right? 93% retention. Jeez.
Amazing. So we have big data, we have automation, and I know you have the perfect example for automation.
Well, I got many, but
Yeah.
I think in this case, all right. So I think let's take a step back, right? We're talking applying digitization to Lean and Six Sigma. There is a heavy administrative burden to building and running a successful Lean Six Sigma program, right? We talk data collection, that's only a piece of it. There's data analytics, there's decision making, there is communication and collaboration, right? Sharing information, sharing documents, keeping people up to speed on different improvement activities that are taking place, right? All these are things that digital or software tools can help with that take a lot of the burden off of the lean manager, a lean team, or even a leader that's driving the lean effort. So talking about automation, right? Let's talk what Improver does and Improver University. If you were to manually go out and train 1,000-person workforce, you're going to spend probably $1 million to do that if you do it manually. Improver University, where all of the training material is stored in videos and tests and quizzes, and then there's some degree of project completion and tracking the completion of projects and all that's involved in, certifying someone from white belt, yellow belt, green belt, black belt, master black belt. You're talking with Improver less than 20,000, less than 30,000, certainly less than 50,000 for the whole thing, right? You're going from $1 million to less than 50 grand, right? By using automation and technology. And that doesn't even get into the software itself that's helping to manage projects, communicate updates, helping deploy strategy, applying gamification in a way that's fair and equitable so that no good action is missed, right? Everybody's getting credit for their thing, and even distributing the rewards for those, and a digital storyboard where anybody can go in and see the status of someone's improvement activity, right? There are so many opportunities to eliminate some of that necessary but non-value added waste that comes along with driving a Lean Six Sigma implementation.
I love that. And you know what else I love? You know what I'm going to talk about? AI. That is another component that I am very excited about, and Improver includes AI in the software. But one of the examples that totally blew my mind a couple weeks ago, we went to do a plant tour of SMI Composites, and they have little workstations. And over the workstations, there is a camera that is operated with AI algorithm, and the camera supervises the movements of the person on the workstation. And at the end of the workday, it tells them what they could be doing better in order to avoid injury. And I thought that is so helpful. And what these technologies do is free up the continuous improvement professional to really focus on solving the difficult problems.
Absolutely. Actually driving real improvement, right? Because it's not Kaizen if there's nothing changing, right? So I can tell you my personal experience as a by degree industrial engineer. I've had more than my fair share of time spent next to a production line with a clipboard and a stopwatch, right? So starting out just right out of college, I was making maybe 50, 55K, right? Imagine taking me, one industrial engineer, standing next to one production line, maybe studying one small piece of work, right? This is what it costs the company a year, 55K, right? Mm-hmm. Imagine being able to study every piece of work 100% of the time next to every production line, right? Mm-hmm. One camera or just a few cameras strategically placed. Mm-hmm. And then the software with your artificial intelligence built in that's already doing the analytics and saying, wait, if you continue to do that job in that way, you're going to end up with carpal tunnel or some other type of cumulative stress disorder or something like that, right? Or, hey, the way you're doing that is different than the way this other person is doing it, and I see that their numbers are better, their efficiency is better, they're doing it more safely, they're doing it with better quality, etc. So it's doing all that analysis automatically and then just reporting out what you need to know. Hey, go over to station 2 and tell this person to do that, or the software is actually telling that person automatically without the involvement of a manager even, right? So you got real-time correction of behavior to optimize productivity and performance across an entire enterprise if the application is there.
So we realize with the help of these tools, we can improve quality, variability, and of course, one of the core principles of lean, the reduction of waste.
Absolutely.
But we cannot achieve this just by adopting a new technology. We need to have the culture and the mindset and just the willingness to do continuous improvement before we adopt this technology.
Absolutely. I think that piece cannot be understated, right? Let's put it in perspective. If you don't believe in lean and Six Sigma and continuous improvement, if you have a very much authoritarian, I solve all the problems, I make all the decisions as a leader, everybody else just do what I say kind of mindset, then you don't need these tools. They're not going to be so helpful for you.
Right.
Any form of lean Six Sigma, not even a whiteboard is going to help you, right, in that situation. But if you are committed and you're on the journey and you're making your way and you have a mindset of I'm going to succeed no matter what it takes, then the tools can help you accelerate the process and drive out some of the unnecessary waste that are inherently part of a manual lean Six Sigma journey.
Yes, and if you are here, I am sure you are committed to improving your continuous improvement culture. And here you understand some of the tools that are at your disposition to make this happen and to move your company forward. With that, thank you so much for listening to the Ticket to Freedom podcast, and we'll hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you. For daily news on operational excellence and how it relates to current events, check us out on the Ticket to Freedom podcast.
Simply subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay up to date on the latest developments in continuous improvement.